Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Five Star Joshi Show here on the Fight Game Media Network, as well as the YouTube channel. I'm your host, as always, Scott E. We have a big time week here on the show. As I've been saying, we are now in full effect when it comes to a massive 2 months in the world of Joshi wrestling. And I'm excited to be joined by anyone and everyone who listens to this show. Thank you for coming back each and every week. This week, we are going to be talking Sareee-ISM, Chapter 8. We'll be talking Stardom's big upcoming week. They didn't have a big weekend this week necessarily, but they do have Sapporo Rendezvous on Monday. They have a big Korakuen on Thursday, and then from there, it's 5-star Grand preseason, baby. So we'll be talking about that. I'll be giving some information on when my 5-star Grand Prix preview and predictions will drop officially. So look out for that. Of course, we'll be doing these show by show reviews right here on the YouTube channel, but we have a lot planned overall. We're also going to be previewing TJPW's Summer Sun Princess show, which is also this Monday. I know we don't really cover TJPW here as much as we once did, but when we get to the big time shows, I will make sure to hit on those and cover them. So keep an eye out for that. We'll also be previewing Sunday Girls Korakuen Hall show this weekend. We'll be talking about Momono's return, as she's had 2 matches since coming back this past weekend. And of course, we'll be talking the Marigold Korakuen, which featured the 56-minute double knockout between Utami Hayashishita and Takumi Iroha. So lock in, get ready. This is a big time show, and boy, oh boy, am I excited. But we're going to start here, not in the World Wonder Ring this week, but instead, we are going to start over at Shinjuku Face with Sareee-ISM Chapter 8. Sareee-ISM was and remains the pinnacle of pro wrestling, in my opinion. I want to talk about what I find the importance of Sareee-ISM to be, and it is the best bang for your buck wrestling show each and every time. It is the epitome of a perfect wrestling show every single time. It is a 5-match card, a big time main event, and an undercard that projects the past, the present, and the future of professional wrestling. It is a card that you never want to skip any matches, because either you're going to find a new favorite wrestler or you're going to learn along the way. Sareee-ISM puts together something very special each and every show. And it's why I am so excited that on March 22nd, 2026, at Saree Chronicle, we will celebrate 15 years of the Sun God at the Yokohama Budokan, the biggest show that Saree has produced, the Saree Chronicle show to celebrate her anniversary. I cannot wait for this show. Um, it's a show that is a long time coming. Is a show that is a celebration of a career that has only kicked into another gear over the past couple years, right? We are watching someone who has become an all-time undeniable great at the peak of her career, doing things that it's just can't miss. And this is going to be a perfect celebration of that. I cannot wait for March 22nd. I know many others can't either. But she also announced that on November 10th, we will get Sareee-ISM Chapter 9 at Shinjuku Face as well. So plenty of Saree produce shows to continue entertaining us and setting herself up perfectly for that Booker of the Year award once again. But let's get to the actual show, because like I said, the actual show is, again, a celebration of the past, the present, and the future of Joshi wrestling. It is a celebration of what wrestling to me can be at its very best. 5 matches, all different types, and just fantastic from top to bottom. So we look towards the future with this match. This is a singles match between Sayaka Toyota and Hanori Hana to open up the show. Sayaka Toyota is a very talented wrestler, someone who I wish I got to see more of. She's only really ever on Sareee-ISM shows, and if you happen to get to see a T Hearts show, the 2 times they do them per year, but otherwise, you don't see her much. But every time I see Toyota, I'm more and more impressed with what she brings to the table. Then on the flip side is Hanori Hana, someone who is returned to wrestling, has been one of the more exciting aspects of indie Joshi wrestling because she has shown, especially within Seedling, that she is here to make an impact. She is here to really help Seedling push forward. So this match was quite entertaining, quite the good opening. It's not perfect. It's not, this barn burner of a match, but it is two wrestlers who want to be better, who want to get better, and they are wrestling it just as that looks. They are wrestling as if they need to win. Ultimately, they went to a draw in the end, but it's openers like these that really set this show apart. 10 minutes back and forth, full pace. Really enjoyed this one. Then you get the path, the Joshi legends against the future here. You have Yumika Hoda and Kara Ito teaming up against Stardom's Aya Sakura and Rian. I really liked this match. I thought Ito and Hota were very, very strong in their presence here, and I thought this was especially, and I thought Rian did good too, but this was a big time performance by Aya Sakura. You were watching Aya grow more and more as time goes on. You're watching Aya Sakura get so much confidence to a point where I have to continue asking, when are we going to give her more in Stardom, right? She is the Sendai Girls Junior champion. She has not won a championship in Stardom, but she is showing she is ready for the next step. She is showing in matches against someone like a Yumika Hoda, someone like a Kara Ito, someone like Sareee at the Natsuo and Saori show that she's ready. She's ready for more. She showed it at Queendom when Meiko Satomura had her final Stardom match. She continues to show it against the biggest names in the industry. It's time. It's time. Rihanna ultimately got pinned in the end, which was not a shock by whatsoever. But this ended up being a really fun tag team match, one that I'm really happy I got to check out. Oh, went too far. Then we had Dashakaco versus ChiChi. This match wasn't long. This match wasn't here to be long. This match was just here to be impactful. I have said so many times on this show, I have sang the praises of ChiChi, and I will always sing the praises of ChiChi because I truly believe she is a star. She is a star that continues to shine, that continues to figure herself out, and that continues to become a real exciting aspect of what the future of Joshi looks like. In many ways, she feels like she is the one leading that forward. She is the one pushing that forward. And putting her in there on each Sareeism in some new big match is always the more exciting aspect of these shows. She is, without a shadow of a doubt, to me, someone who is ready for anything. I just had watched uh her performance in the Evolution Strong title tournament on the final night when she defeated Moko Hanazono and then defeated or lost to Zones in the final. And she was fantastic because she always is. And I think we're getting to a point here where you're going to start seeing her be pushed more and more and more. And Sareee has obviously taken her under her wing. There is no one more clear of a student of Sareeism, a student of Sareee than ChiChi. Yes, she may learn from Shuji Shikao. Yes, she may learn from Suwama. But this is someone who is so inspired and so pushed to be better by Sareee, and you see it each and every outing she has. Dashakaco isn't in there to make this an easy match for the junior. No, she's gonna treat you like you're at her level. She's gonna bring it to you, and you're gonna have to bring it back. And I thought ChiChi did an incredible job at doing just that. This match was really good, a really strong middle ground. Really, the top 3 matches on the show, I think, were all well worth your time to go check out and see, starting with this one. But of course, Dashakaco got the win. But these two were really, really good. We then had Natsuo versus Miku Kane. Listen, I've talked about this a lot when talking about Stardom. We're going to talk about it more today, of course, as we preview Sapporo Rendezvous. Natsuo has found it. And when I say it, I mean the best in the world uh, level that she has shown in the past. But she is now consistently at that level. As she pursues being the ace of Stardom and openly says that, she is proving in time that she is quite capable of just that, right? With Tam gone, Mayu gone, Shuri out, Micah out, and a complete and clear hole at the top of the scene, at the top of Stardom, next to Saiya Kamatani. There is undeniably no one better to fill that than Natsuo. And I was interested to see what her versus Miku Kane looked like, because when Saori Anou filled in for her last Sareee-ISM, that match actually turned out to be, maybe more fitting of the Saori Anou style, because Saori Anou, I think, has the she has the past of being able to, kind of not be a bully, but be a little bit more aggressive and such, right? Because she has the Oz Academy background where she's plays a heel and things like that. So I was interested to see what Poi looked like, and Poi just gave Kane a great match, man. And I can't say enough good things about Miku Kane. I think she is a star, in the making. I think she is someone who you put into that premium class of future stars that I talk about a lot here. And the fact that she and ChiChi are always on Sareee-ISM, always getting showcased, tells you a lot of what Sareee thinks of those two. And I think that should bring even more attention to both of them. Natsuo got the win here, but Miku Kane had one heck of a performance, one of the best of her career. And it really just showed to me that we are on our way to something really, really cool when it comes to uh Natsuo right now. We're just over a week away from the 5-star Grand Prix, but we are even less time to her title match, a title match that can be one of the best of the year with the way she's going. So I'm very excited for that. This was a really good match, well worth your time as well. And then you had the main event, Spark Rush, Sareee and Takumi Iroha teaming up. They take on Saiya Kamatani and Natsuko of H.A.T.E. It is an undeniable fact that the biggest match in Joshi, and I'll hold on, let me backtrack. The biggest match in pro wrestling right now, the biggest singles match that you can put on, is Sareee versus Saiya Kamatani. There is an energy there. There is an excitement there that is just unmatched. Obviously, Saiya Kamatani right now, the biggest star in Joshi wrestling. That's not up for debate. That's just the truth. We've been talking about it. And then there's Sareee. Sareee, really the complete opposite of Saiya Kamatani, but the reigning Tokyo Sports MVP, continuously the talk of the pro wrestling world with her incredible matches and what she accomplishes. Their first face off in this match was sensational. The back and forth, the crowd energy for it, it was off the charts. And this match, this main event, was so smart and so exciting because it's the only time you really get to see hate, I think, at the form they should be in. And that is the hated, despised heels. This is a Super Sareee crowd, right? They are here for her. They are her supporters. So any heel tactic, they are going to boo, and they are going to boo them more and more because it's all about Sareee. It's all about Takumi getting on the upper hand. Natsuko Tora, let's give a shout out to Natsuko Tora here. Her best showing in quite some time. She was awesome in this match as well. This match was so great. One of my favorite tags of the year. And ultimately, it is a sign of what Spark Rush is quickly becoming. And that is kind of the top level of Joshi wrestling, right? They're trying to take over in many ways, and they're sensational. And then on the other side, you have Saiya Kamatani, and you have Tora, and you have H.A.T.E, and it's all leading to more. It's very clear to me that the biggest match that Stardom is very much planning to run are these two facing off. It has to be at a Queendom show, whether it be Ryogoku Sumo Hall or Yokohama Arena. Those are the only options. We're not doing Sareee versus Saiya Kamatani at just a normal show. Like that is the biggest match, and you have the opportunity to do it as a double title match, which I think is the destination. I do. I think that's the destination, and it makes the 5-star very interesting for Sareee because of that. But yeah, those are the things I'm tossing around in my head. But this match, man, oh man, oh man, oh man, like go out of your way to see it if you haven't. I don't have to say that. I don't think for most Sareee-ISM main events, but this was really great. It's not the best Sareee-ISM main event. I think the one with Shuri or one with Hosh are probably up there, but it was still great. The tag match is always the oh wait a minute, the best Sareee-ISM main event is Mayu and Sareee versus Venny and Hosh, but this is still great. And your first preview of Saiya and Sareee was as good as it comes. It sets up an exciting time, and that exciting time continues into next week. Because after the match, H.A.T.E attacked Sareee, attacked Takumi, and ChiChi and Miku Kane ran in to make the save. Team Sareee-ISM is here. This is a team that is unified. This is a team of Sareee and two of her students. Oh my god. So at the Korakuen, she will team with Miku Kane and ChiChi, her two students, to face H.A.T.E. I cannot wait. We'll preview that here in a little bit, but I'm very excited about that. I love Sareee getting to work with those close to her. And getting to work with these two, it's really cool. Sareee did win the match, by the way, by pinning Natsuko Tora. So just wanted to note that as well. But a great match, a great show, and a really cool moment as the Crush Gals made their way to the ring. They posed with Spark Rush. One hell of a way to end Sareee-ISM and make it really one of the most memorable Sareee-ISMs to date. Continues to be the show to look forward to, and I can't wait for November for the next one. Now we head over, as we always do, to the World Wonder Ring. We have a lot to talk about here this week, not in terms of reviews. I literally have so little to say in terms of the shows they've just done. Because I watched the show over the weekend. They had two shows on Wednesday and Thursday. The show on Wednesday just got uploaded as I'm recording. The show on Thursday was not live, so we won't talk much about those here today. We'll just go over some results. But really, why we're here for Stardom this week is to preview the next big pay-per-view, Sapporo Rendezvous, and of course, a massive Korakuen Hall show, which they have loaded from top to bottom. But first, we talk about Shuri. Shuri made her All Elite Wrestling debut this past weekend at All in Texas. She was part of the Casino Gauntlet, got a huge pop. Maybe it was just me screaming as loud as I could. No, I'm just kidding. She got a nice pop, great reaction, lots of excitement, had a great performance. Really cool to just see Shuri on the big stage. Shuri is someone who has elevated professional wrestling for me in so many different ways through the years. And I just want to celebrate her in this moment because she is, in fact, going to get surgery on her elbow. So this was kind of, it feels like a moment to celebrate her. And then she's going to take some time away, as she had been talking about. and I'm happy for her. I am. Um, Wrestling, however long she's out, wrestling is going to severely miss Shuri. And I know I am. I know many people are, but I'm really, really happy. Like there's nothing I could say that it's all positivity when it comes to her, and I just wish her the best, and I hope she's back sooner rather than later. I don't know what kind of surgery it is, but she's been dealing with it on her left elbow. As you see there, it's wrapped up. So whatever it is, we just hope that she's back sooner rather than later, because she got an incredible reaction, one that she deserves. An incredible moment. Got to have some moments in there with Athena and Mina Shirakawa, so that was pretty cool. But let's get to the house show results from this past weekend, because the house show this past weekend was in Fukushima. This was the homecoming show for Ami Sourei. So she got to main event the show against H.A.T.E. I feel like every main event for house shows now at this point are like that, but maybe I'm just crazy. But yeah, like I said, let's go through the results here. It was Cosmic Angels, Aya Sakura, and Sayaka Kurara defeating Hina and Kyoko Katatsu. Utami Mizumori defeated Akira Kuragane one-on-one. Miyu Amasaki and Starlight Kid defeated Emma Maishima and Koguma. Worth noting, Ruaka had to miss the show, so it changed up a few matches on the card. Natsuko Tora defeated Kikyo Furusawa. Hanan, Momokogo, and Saida defeated Hanako, Rihanna, and Wakasugiyama of EXV. Then in your semi-main event, you had Bozilla and Suzuki defeating Azumi and Meisera. I thought this match was pretty good. I thought this and the main event were both pretty good. If you're looking for some house show stuff to watch, these are probably worth your time. You got to see some preview work between Azumi and Bozilla ahead of their New Japan Strong Women's Championship match next Thursday. So that's probably an important part. But yeah, it was a fine back and forth tag, and house show. And then in the main event, it was Ami Sourei getting the hometown win. Ami Sourei, Lady C, and Saki Kashima defeated Saiia Kamatani, Konami, and Mo Watanabe. Hey, I've been all positivity for Ami Sourei since she's come back, and I'm looking forward to her 5-star Grand Prix. I'm hoping she has some standout matches. She's been really good since coming back. It's very clear. I think we're also building to her and Saiia Kamatani eventually. Fascinating to see when that happens, how that sets up. But she did get the win here for her team, pinning Konami, if I remember correctly. So cool for her. Cool to get that house show W in her hometown. We then had the show in Akita on Wednesday. On Wednesday, they were doing a 2-day tour. So we'll start here. It was Akira Kuragane, Bozilla, and Suzuki defeating Emma Maishima, Azumi, and Miyu Amasaki. You had FWC, Hazuki, and Koguma teaming up. They defeated Sayaka Kurara and Yuria Hime. Ami Sourei, Kyoko Katatsu, Lady C, and Saki Kashima defeat EXV's Hanako, Rian, Wakasukiyama, as well as Kikyo Furusawa. Konami defeated Aya Sakura and Rana Yagami. Then Neo Genesis, Meisera and Starlight Kid defeated Seriano and Utami Mizumori. I'm sure that one was a fun match. I will be going back to make sure I watch that one. And then in your main event, it was H.A.T.E, Momo Watanabe, Natsuko Tora, Ruaka, and Saiya Kamatani defeating Natsupoi, Hanan, Momokogo, and Saida. So the champion, or the H.A.T E side, obviously has Tora and Ruaka challenging for the tag belt here very soon at the Korakuen. Also, Natsuo, of course, challenging Saiya Kamatani for the belt there. So they got the last laugh in that one. And then today, as of this recording, so on Thursday, they had a show. It was in, I don't remember what was it. Hachinohe. That's where it was. So the opening match actually was Saiya Kamatani and Momo Watanabe. Saiya Kamatani pinned Natsupoi with the Star Crusher, defeating Natsupoi and Sayaka Kurara. I will be going back to watch that one once that's available. You then had in the next match, it was Miyu Amasaki defeating Emma Maishima in three-way action. Saki Kashima was also in that match. Then in tag team action, it was Rana Yagami and Kyoko Kotatsu getting the win. They defeated Yuri Hime and Kikyo Furusawa. FWC teamed up. They defeated Ami Sourei and Lady C. So it's nice to see FWC still getting some wins. They are directionless as directionless can be, but I will take that. Makes my heart a little happier. Natsuko Tora, Konami, and Ruaka defeated Saida, Momokogo, and Hana. A lot of wins here for the BMI 2000 team as Ruaka pinned Saida. Then in the semi-main event, it was Mivita Loka, Suzuki, Bozilla, and Akira Kuragane defeating Waka Tsukiyama, Hanako, and Rion. It's really weird. Is this just a me thing? It's really weird that EXV is just kind of continuing on without everyone. Like there's no additions or no help. It's just every show, Hanako, Waka, and Rion. And it's just like, well, they're never gonna win. I mean, I'm not a big EXV guy or anything, but I feel like they would probably change that up eventually, no? I don't know. And then in your main event, strong main event here, Sareee defeated Starlight Kid as Sareee team with Utami and Naya Sakura to defeat Starlight Kid, Azumi, and Mei Sarah. Sareee getting the pinfall on Starlight Kid right before their title match. So you know what that tells me? Starlight Kid is successfully defending her championship. That is exactly what that tells me. But we are here to preview Sapporo Rendezvous 2025. I just smashed my hand. But that's why you're here. If you're looking for Stardom coverage, this is the big show. This is the big final pay-per-view before the 5-star Grand Prix, which starts on the 27th. And the show will kick off with none other than future Stardom Championship match. Hina defends against Sayaka Kurara, the Cinderella tournament winner. Hina has had an awesome title reign. I don't even think that's up for debate. She has really stepped up and really brought the best out of every opponent she's had. Now she's facing someone in Kurara, which I don't think is someone she necessarily needs to elevate. I think Kurara is very well capable herself. But it makes for an intriguing, exciting face-off between the two, one that can go either way. Hina continuing her reign sounds super exciting, but I feel like Kurara losing after the World of Stardom title loss, after obviously winning the Cinderella, all these different things, I feel like a win is very much in need for her. It's as close to a must win as possible for Kurara, who is someone they're obviously very behind, and you want to give her a win here eventually, right? It's too many losses, they add up. So I'm picking Sayaka Kurara to get the win, become the new future of Stardom champion. If she doesn't, I would hope Aya Sakura could be next up for Hina, but we'll have to wait and see there. But I'm picking Kurara to take the belt from Hina here at the show. You then have the undercard of matches, including the 5-star Grand Prix play-in. Akira Kuragane goes one-on-one with Yuri Hime. The winner will be part of the 5-star Grand Prix. The other will chill for a month. I don't really know what they're gonna do. But I am going to pick Yuri Hime here. I think Yuri Hime is the wrestler they are slightly higher on. I think they're big time on both. Obviously, Hime kind of in stars, kind of not. But I feel like Hime could get earn a lot from the block that she would be in. I wouldn't be shocked if Kuragane won either. She's the one that's in Mi Vida Loca, obviously high on her, but she got to do Pro Wrestling Waves Catch the Wave tournament. And I think that actually is meaningful, because I do think that's like, okay, you got to compete in a tournament this year. Now we want to allow Yuri Hime to do the same. So I'm picking Yuri Hime. I'd prefer if Hime got in, just to give her the opportunity, but we'll wait and see there. Then you'll have Azumi, Mei Sarah, and Miyu Amasaki in a preview trios match. They'll face Bozilla, Suzuki, and Rina Yamashita. So I'm sure Mi Vida Loca will stay strong. I'm sure Bozilla will stay strong there, and they'll get the win in that one. Then you'll have a 4-way tag team match. It'll be FWC versus Hanako and Waka Tsukiyama versus Ami Sourei and Lady C versus Aya Sakura and Yuna Mizumori. Should be a fun little match. FWC should win. I know. Shocker. I know. And then in your final preview tag for the Goddesses of Stardom Championship matches will be Hanan, Saida, Momokogo, and Kikyo Furusawa taking on H.A.T.E, Natsuko Tora, Ruaka, Konami, and Momo Watanabe. So look forward to that one. But we get to the big matches now here. In the semi-main event, the wonder of this is the best Sareee gear. This is beast. I like the blue. This is from the Natsuo and Saoru. No one cares. I like the gear. Anyways, it will be Starlight Kid versus Sareee for the Wonder of Stardom Championship. We saw this match last year for this title when Sareee was champion. I believe it was her first defense after defeating Mirai at Stardom Dream Queendom 2023. Different world now. Different world now. Starlight Kid's a different wrestler. Sareee, I'd even say, is a different wrestler. I think there is something to say here now with the 5-star Grand Prix right around the corner. Would the idea of taking the belt off of Starlight Kid so that she can enter the 5-star Grand Prix, win the tournament, and challenge Saiya Kamatani be the thought process here? Yeah, I don't think it's crazy, but at the same time, admittedly, I do think it'd be crazy if Sareee was the only ever 3-time Wonder of Stardom champion. I do think that'd be pretty crazy. So I'm picking Starlight Kid to successfully retain her championship here. I fully believe this will be a great match. I'm looking forward to this match. Starlight Kid's been doing the best work of her career this year. Sareee has been great this year. I have no doubts that this is going to be great. It's just the debate of, do you take the belt off so Starlight Kid can have a hell of a run in the 5-star? Hell, she can still win with the belt. But just kind of a thought process there. Definitely one I think to consider. And then in your main event, I'm very excited. This is probably the most anticipated Stardom match I have had since Queendom. I don't think that's even up for debate. It is the most anticipated. Even more than Shuri and Sareee, only because we had seen that earlier this year. And I love Shuri. I love Sareee. You know that. But there's something different here. We are watching Natsuo at the top of her game. We are watching Natsuo as determined as she's been in a very, very long time. She is no longer playing second fiddle to Tam Nakano. She is no longer, in many ways, playing second fiddle to Sareee. No. She is herself. She is ready to step up. She is inspired. She has taken the word and she has attacked Saiya Kamatani in every which way. And she wants to be the ace of this promotion. Natsuo is ready for this. Saiya Kamatani, I've been waiting for her to have a true challenge, right? She beat Tam in April. It is the end of July, and she's only defended the belt against Sayaka Kurara since then. This is a whole different ball game. Their match at Cinderella Journey 2022 is one of the best matches of that year. To say that these wrestlers are different would be an understatement since then. I think this has legitimate match of the year caliber stuff. I think that this has all the potential to be absolutely undeniably sensational. And you have to remember, this was the same show last year that we watched Saiya Kamatani turn her back and join H.A.T.E. That was the start of everything. So 1 year later, with the World of Stardom Championship around her waist, she will go in there against Natsuo, someone who at that same show won the Wonder of Stardom Championship for the first time in her career. This is a year-long change, a year-long difference for them. And boy, oh boy, is that exciting. Boy, oh boy, I can't wait. This match is going to be fantastic. This match is going to be special. And Saiya Kamatani will successfully retain the championship. I think the long-term goal should be Natsuo may lose this match, but boy, oh boy, she can come back around and win next time out. Because I do think there will be a next time out. I stare at All-Star Grand Kingdom 2026 as the place to do it. Natsuo should be the one to dethrone Saiya Kamatani. I'm saying it here. I'm saying it now. She has done the work. She is on the top of her game. Let's make it a story. Let's make it happen. But right now would be far too early. I see Saiya Kamatani getting the win, and that hopefully builds up a new story for Natsuo. In the meantime, it should be tremendous. But Sapporo Rendezvous 2025 is this Monday. Look forward to it. And then at the Korakuen Hall show on Thursday. It starts here. This graphic gets me so pumped. It's Sareee, ChiChi, and Miku Kane taking on Saiya Kamatani, Momo Watanabe, and Konami. I mean, come on. Come on. We are building this match. You are in real time watching Sareee and Saiya Kamatani build up their match. ChiChi's here, Miku Kane's here, victories all around. I'm going to guess that this is when H.A.T.E gets their win back. And that leads into the 5-star Grand Prix where Sareee can now go and potentially win and set up a match with Saiya Kamatani once it's all said and done. But this match should be great. I'm looking forward to it. It's awesome. This is the type of booking I want. I want to see ChiChi. I want to see Miku here representing with Sareee, right? If Takumi can't be here for obvious reasons that Stardom's not going to want, then let these two be there instead. I just want everyone to thank me for this one because I feel like I deserve some credit. The High Speed Championship will be on the line for the first time in over 140 days as Mei Sarah will defend against Hinoka. Is it a coincidence that after I dropped the State of High Speed video on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@ScottyWrestling, you can check it out now if you haven't already. Is it a coincidence that I do this video and then all of a sudden we are doing a title match for the high speed title? Probably is a coincidence. I probably have no power in that, but I still want to be thanked for the fact that this is happening. Yeah, Mei Sarah's defending the title. Finally. Crazy. First time since March 3rd. It is July. Crazy. But hey, I'll take it. Cool for Hinoka. She's pretty good. And I'm excited to see the match, though. I kind of hope they forgot the high speed rules were a thing. That would be nice. That'd be a nice surprise if we forgot about that. Anyways, this is all on Korakuen Hall. Remember, we move on. We then have Azumi defending the New Japan Strong Women's Championship for the first time in her reign against Bozilla. Bozilla is in a very interesting spot here. If she loses to Azumi, does that end any super run of hers here in Stardom? Obviously, she will be in the 5-star Grand Prix. That is undeniable. But a loss to Azumi, obviously someone who is much smaller than her, is a high speed wrestler. What does that do? I think that's really the conversation going into this match. What happens if either side loses? If Azumi loses, her big New Japan Strong Women's title reign ends at 0 defenses. This is her first time defending the belt since beating Mercedes Moné and Mina Shirakawa in that 3-way match. So, that's not great. Plain and simple, that's not great. I know Azumi fans aren't going to be happy. Her finally getting another singles belt that isn't the high speed belt was a big deal. That's not great. But on the other side, how do you beat Bozilla in this scenario? What is and especially so early where I don't know, she still hasn't really established herself in Stardom. It's just a conversation worth having because I don't know if there's a perfect answer here. Um, but I think Azumi successfully retains. I don't think she's going 0 defenses. I think that would be kind of shocking. And I think that kind of creates an interesting story then for Bozilla moving forward. We'll have to wait and see how it all goes. But it's a fascinating match on paper. I don't know if it's a match that necessarily works, but it is a fascinating match nonetheless. So we'll have to wait and see when we get there. And then your potential actually, Bozilla and Azumi set the main event, but you also have the Goddesses of Stardom championship match. Will be Hana and Saida defending the belts against BMI 2000. That's Kotora and Raka. I'm just gonna say here, I think we're crowning new champions. I think we're freeing up Hana for one heck of a 5-star Grand Prix run. I think BMI 2000 are kind of the heels that they would be happy to give the belts to. And I think we're kind of maybe on another way to H.A.T.E being kind of the people taking over again. This is exactly what they did last year, right? Toro won the belt at this time. They held the tag belt. Um, they held the future belt. They held the new blood belt. Like they had all this gold, and I think there's a real chance that after this show, they have or after this upcoming week, they have the World of Stardom title. They have the tag belts. There's a real chance they'd have the artist belts right now too. You got to remember, had Reena not got hurt, so I think that's where we're going. I think BMI 2000 gets the win and ends Win Gory's incredible run as champions. I don't want that to be the case because I love to see Win Gory continue to reign, but that is my hunch as of right now. But other than that, folks, that is the Korakuen. That is all the previews here for Stardom. Um, Reena is on her way back. Stardom did announce that she is hopefully going to be back for the 5-star Grand Prix. She said as much as well. That is her goal. That is her plan. Her first ever 5-star. So that's great news. I was worried that we hadn't heard anything in a while, but it sounds like she will be back. So greatly looking forward to that. Let's talk about Marvelous here real quick. Marvelous had a show in Shinkiba this past Sunday, including Sareee, Takumi, Iroha, and Sorayame losing to Maria, Riko Kawahara, and Johnny Robbie. This is to continue the build to Spark Rush versus Magenta. Obviously, pretty big match for those tag belts. Is kind of the direction they set in place. That's obviously part of what led to the heel turn of Magenta. Yeah, this match was a lot of fun. Maria ended up hitting Sora Ayame to get the win, but really, the reason to talk about this show is none other than the main event. It was Mio Momono's return match. Mio Momono teaming up with Saiia Kamatani against Marigold's Mirai and Kazuna Tanaka. My God, wrestling missed Mio Momono. I if you've listened to this show for any amount of time, you know how much I love Mio. I mean, I was the Mio guy in 2021 when this show started. I'm still the Mio guy as far as I'm concerned. And her ability to be as fluid, as fast, as talented as she is incredible. Her and Mirai were great. Her and Kazuna were great. Sankin and Kazuna were great. Sankin and Mirai was great. This was a great, great return match. Mio Momono is, without shadow of a doubt, one of the most talented wrestlers in the entire world. And when she's healthy, when she's going, there's few things better. I'm going to talk way more about Mio here soon, but go out of your way to find this return match. She put in one hell of a shift. Her and Mirai have something really special in them if they ever get that singles match. But welcome back to Mio Momono. I mean, like I said, wrestling is better when she's around. Wrestling is better when Mio Momono is doing her damn thing. An incredible, incredible return match and a great match nonetheless. So go check that out. This upcoming Saturday, live on Wrestle Universe, Sendai Girls has a big time Korakuen Hall show, and let's preview it here now. We have Sayaka Kurara going one-on-one with Manami. So a little bit of Stardom versus Sendai Girls. I really thought this match had been announced before the 5-star Grand Prix. I thought this was gonna be the lead-in to Minami making the tournament again this year. That was not the case. But with Kurara having a title match 2 days later, I feel like Kurara will be getting the win over Minami here. You then have Ryo Mizunami, ChiChi, and Unagi Sayaka taking on Hiroyo Matsumoto, Zones, and Yuri Suzuki in trios action. Once again, for the junior championship, Aya Sakura will defend the belt against Yuna. You got to ask yourself, is Yuna actually going to win this time? No. I'm going to go with no. I don't know why, because it just happened a few weeks ago, but I still think Aya Sakura should get to reign and maybe get a different defense from here. That would be really cool. Bobu, Momo, Banana returns. They are back as of Saturday. They team up. Eureka Oka, Mio Momono. They team up to take on Aja Kong and Fenny. I mean, folks, that match is gonna be incredible. Also insane that is the Bobo Momo return match, but incredible nonetheless. I'm jumping out of my chair out of joy for that match. That is honestly, if Hazuki wasn't wrestling on the show, it would be my most anticipated match of the show. I'm not even kidding. But speaking of Hazuki, in the semi-main event, it'll be Hazuki versus Dashakaco in a hardcore match. Listen, I'm just excited to see Hazuki dig her teeth into something. I feel like I'm not alone in just feeling that way. I would like Hazuki to win, then challenge Hash after. That would be my dream scenario here. I don't think that's going to happen. Dash never loses these matches. But that would be my dream scenario out of all this. And then in your main event, Sendai Girls World Tag Team Titles, Team 200 kilograms versus Red Energy. I'm predicting Team 200 kilograms to win and go on their final tag title run before Yu retires at the end of the year, which, by the way, Yu will be facing Chihiro Hashimoto in a one-on-one match in her final match on December 28th. So I'm sure that doesn't shock many people. But this show is going to be great. It's going to be on Wrestling Universe at a pretty good time this Friday night. So go check it out. Sendai Girls always delivers. Looking forward to reviewing this one next week. So like I said, Summer Sun Princess 2025 is this Monday as well, along with Sapporo Rendezvous. So it's only right that we give a little bit of a preview here. I'm going to preview the big matches. I'm not going to go over the undercard. I don't need to go over the undercard. But we're going to go over some of the big matches on the show. And we'll review them here as well on the show next week. And it starts with Miyu Yamashita going one-on-one with AEW's Billy Starks. I love when Billy Starks makes her way to Japan. I think Billy is getting better and better. I think really when she first got called to TJPW in it's gonna be 2023, I think now. Whenever she got over the first time, I feel like that's when she started to turn a corner, really. Then she got signed by AEW and so on and so forth. But this should be really good. Billy's kind of crazy when she goes to Japan. She always does something pretty nuts. So I think this will be a really fun one-on-one match. I expect Miyu Yamashita to get the win, though. I would hope she gets the win. And yeah, it's a good special singles match. You then have Veni making her return to TJPW for the first time in a long time. She'll team up with Yuki Kamifuku to take on Yuki Aino and Haruo Kazushiro, as well as Arisu Endo and Jada Stone in three-way tag team action. That should be a fun one. In the most wild match on the show at Oda Ward, it will be El Desperado teaming with Maki Ito to take on Chris Brooks and Emi Sakura. Yeah, that's it's wild. It's wild. Just a wild match to see. I remember when it was announced, I said, "Come again." That is the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion taking part in TJPW. Fascinating. Should be a lot of fun though. So looking forward to that one. I'm sure Desperado gets the win here. Then the International Princess Championship match will be held as Suzume defends the gold against Moka Miyamoto. Big opportunity for Moka Miyamoto, stepping into the biggest match of her career and doing so against a champion in Suzume, who's been really great as champion. I believe this is her fifth or sixth defense. and she's been incredible. She's been everything you'd hope for her winning, or let me say, holding this title. I wouldn't be shocked if Mocha got the win, but I'm going to keep the belt on Suzume until further notice. Suzume should get the win here. Then you have the semi-main event. The Princess Tag title match will be Shoko Nakajima and Hyper Masao defending the belts against Daydream, Miyu Watanabe, and Rika Tatsumi. This has the potential to be the match of the night, I think. I'm not the biggest fan of Shoko and Hyper Masao separate as solos, but when they're together, I recognize their talent as a duo. And then Daydream's just fantastic. That's the best tag team in TJPW as far as I'm concerned. So this should be a great, great tag title match. And I think we will have Shoko Nakajima and Hyper Masao retain the belts. Seems a little too early for them to drop them. And then in your main event, the Princess of Princess Championship match, Mizuki defends the belt against Yuki Arai. You knew it was coming around. You knew Yuki Arai would eventually rise to the top of the card. You knew eventually she'd get this world title match. And boy, oh boy, she has that world title match. This is going to be a very important match for TJPW. Do they go with Yuki Arai now, or do they wait a little bit longer? That's going to be the real question that's being asked here. I don't know. I don't know, truthfully, what the answer is there. I think Yuki Arai being their champion now that she's full time feels very, very likely. I just don't know if it's now or then. But I'm gonna predict Yuki Arai to win. Let's just go with it. I thought she was gonna win the Tokyo Princess Cup. That's very clearly not happening. So her winning here at Summer Sun Princess to become the new champion, why not? I'm not as locked in anymore, so I'm just kind of guessing. But I'm looking forward to this show, especially these top matches. It does look like a good top of the card for Summer Sun Princess. So check that out over on Wrestling Universe this Monday. But now we head over to the Golden Gardens of Marigold to talk about their past busy week, which included a Shikiba first ring show as well as their big time Korakuen Hall show on Wednesday. And then we'll preview their upcoming weekend as well. But before we get there, I ask you all to head over to Fightful.com. I dropped my latest interview with none other than Victoria Yuzuki, who talked about her first year in Marigold. Mayu Utami joined the company, the Dreamstar Grand Prix, and so much more. Victoria Yuzuki, one of the young, bright stars of professional wrestling. She is going to be a future ace for this promotion. She is truly incredible. We're going to praise her a lot soon here, but it was an honor to get to interview her for the first time, interview her as part of Marigold. I'm excited to see what her dream star looks like now that she's entering year 2. I think she has a chance to be a real MVP of this year's tournament with how the blocks turned out. But please go check that out, Fightful.com, like I said. Really proud of this one, as I am all my interviews, but this was a really cool one to put together. So we go to Shinkiba First Ring this past weekend. 285 people in attendance. First off, we had Hummingbird defeat Megaton in 4 minutes and 35 seconds. Then in three-way action, we had Kazuna Tanaka defeat Kamomo Manami and Nao Ishikawa. This was a fun little three-way match. Nothing to necessarily write home about, but I thought it was a fun match that really highlighted 3 talented wrestlers. Kamomo Manami continues to make very, very strong strides, which is very exciting to see. That was not the next match. My apologies. The next match was Mayu Utami and Koki Amare teaming up to successfully defeat Yuki Minami and Go Chica. This match was way better than had probably any right to be. Why? It's because Mayu Utani's the greatest of all time. That's why. Mayu Utani had some great work in there with Yuki Minami. She was in the zone. She was pure Mayu as always. This was the first match where you could really see that she was kind of working past the rib injury, doing way more work in the ring, and really putting together a great performance. There is a very clear want from Go Chica that she wants the singles match with Mayu. Mayu kind of keeps pushing it down the road. She's like, well, can you challenge for the Superfly? And Go Chica said, no, I can't. But that match is coming. I don't know when, but I like that they keep teasing it. It's a match that really excites me. And I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later, but it was awesome to see Mayu get the win here. I thought Koki looked fine in the match. She didn't do too much. It was mostly her and Gochika for the most part. But Mayu getting the win's always cool. Then you had this really good trios match. I know. Marigold with a good trios match. I'm shocked. It was Utami Hayashishita Mirai and Sareee-ISM defeating Chanyota, Mai Sakurai, and Yuka Yamazaki. Yeah, this match ruled. Plain and simple. I mean, I think Utami and Mirai and Sareee-ISM is kind of just such an insane trio. And also, this is the show that Sareee-ISM debuted her new Nanai Takahashi inspired gear. So that was I really like the new gear. I think it's very cool. And I like that she's following as the passion daughter through and through. Yuki Yamazaki, I can't say enough good things about the Mad Dog, but I'm going to continue to try and say great things about the Mad Dog. She's awesome, man. She really is. If you haven't seen her yet, go out of your way to do so. This was really fun and well worth your time. But then in the main event, it was Miku, Anou, Victoria Yuzuki, and Rhea Seto losing to Darkness Revolution, Chiaki, Nagisa Nozaki, and Misa Matsui as Rhea Seto officially joined Darkness Revolution. It came about throughout the match. Rhea Seto was getting beat up pretty bad in the early going. She eventually got out. Victoria Yuzuki was on a roll, going back and forth. There was some miscommunications along the way. And then at one point, Victoria Yuzuki just got pissed at Rhea Seto. And Rhea Seto said, fine, enough is enough. I'm done being beneath you. I am on your level, if not better. She turned on her, smashed Suzuki's head in with the chair. Darkness Revolution gets the pin, and Rhea Seto officially became a member of the group. I love it. I think it is a move that is perfect for Rhea Seto and where she is in her career. I think it is a move that is perfect for Rhea Seto as she moves forward and she continues to get better. She is someone who is ready to take a next step. And now that she is in this heel group with her moveset, I think the heel aspect will really, really jump off the page for her. I think there's a lot there for her to dissect her teeth into as the heel that works over body parts and does submissions and things like that. It's a move that I love, and it's a move that really helps Darkness Revolution right now. I think we're at a really special time where we're seeing Chiaki start to up her game a little. Misa Matsui is obviously fantastic. Nozaki, we know how she goes. Listen, if she has a match that she's interested in, she's going to have one hell of a showing. So yeah, I really love the move. I think it's great for Darkness Revolution. It makes them a real serious threat. There's no weak link here now. And these four will now move forward in a very intriguing way that I'm excited to see. But congrats to Rhea Seto on the new spot. But now we get to the Korakuen Hall show on Wednesday. This is really going to be the bulk of the Marigold conversation, of course. In your opening match, it was Miku, Anou, Koki Amare, Kazuna Tanaka, and Arena Yamanaka teaming up to take on Chika Goto, Yuki Minami, Naoshikawa, and Hummingbird. No shock here that the Miku, Anou, Koki, Kazuna, and Arena Yamanaka team got the win. This very well could be like the last unimportant match Miku Anou has for a while. I haven't got to the Dreamstar Grand Prix preview yet. I'll be talking about that at the end of the show, when to expect those. But boy, oh boy, is she one of my picks to win right now as I decipher through who I think is going to win. But she feels undeniable at this stage of the game. But this was a fun opening tag match. You then had the first time Darkness Revolution in full form, Nagisa Nozaki, Misa Matsui, Chiaki, and Rhea Seto teaming up to defeat Mirai, Chanyota, Megaton, and Yuka Yamazaki. I think the first match was a perfect showing of what Rhea Seto brings to the table as a part of this faction. I think they are all so different, they're all so unique, but they're all going to bring something different. And you have the Mad Dog, shouts out, in this match. You have Chanyota, you have Mirai, but hey, that's why Megaton's here, right? Between the rookie and Megaton, it was an easy way to defeat them. There was also this really funny moment when the match was ending and Mirai still suffered the fate of the cart into the post, which absolutely ended me. I was like, that the match is over and she still got rammed to the post. It's a funny thing that Nozaki continues to do with Mirai, so that popped me good. But yeah, this was a good debut match, I thought, for Rhea Seto as part of the faction. Then they announced the Dream Star Grand Prix League. So the Dream League is as follows. You have Utami Hayashishita, Mayu Iwatani, Victoria Izuki, Koki Amare, Sareee Yamaoka, Chiaki, Rhea Seto, and Senka Akatsuki on one side. What a league that is. Mayu against the three top young stars, Yuzuki, Senka, and Sareee. Obviously, both the Sareee match and Senka match are first time ever against Rhea Seto. I think she's going to get a lot out of Rhea Seto. You're also getting Utami versus Sareee Yamaoka for the first time ever. Utami versus Senka for the first time ever. Utami versus Yuzuki for the first time in a while. Koki Amare will have a chance to now step up and step out. You have Sareee Yamaoka versus Senka Akatsuki. I mean, come on. What a league. Very exciting. Like I said, this is when I'll kind of give you the idea of when we'll preview. But in the Star League, it is as follows. You have Mai Sakurai, Miku Anou, Mirai, Chika Goto, Kazuna Tanaka, Misa Matsui, Nagisa Nozaki, and Chan Yoda. That's going to be a tight group. That is going to be a tight league. That's not going to be easy to win. That is, because on one side you have a lot of the youth, and a lot of the youth is going to step up. But on the other side, there's a lot of contenders here. Mai Sakurai, Miku Anou, and Mirai, those are all potential favorites. Mai Sakurai is 1 year removed from making it to the finals. Then you'll have the likes of Chan Yoda, Go Chika, Misa Matsui, Nozaki, and Kazuna, all ready to try and make that step up through the tournament as well. I think these are awesomely split. I'm super excited for this tournament. I was already excited with the participants, but now that it's split like this, I think this is awesome. We'll be previewing the Marigold Dreamstar Grand Prix. That preview and predictions will be coming out in 2 weeks' time. So the official show is on the official show, or the official start to the tournament is on August 2nd. So the plan right now is to very likely release the full preview for the show on either the 28th or 29th. So we'll have the preview and predictions out pretty early. That will be on the YouTube channel first. Then I will add them to the 5 Star Joshi Show on MP3 platforms for Friday the 1st. So keep an eye out for that. In terms of the 5 Star Grand Prix preview, that will be coming out on the 22nd here. So right before the Korakuen, we will do the preview for the 5 Star Grand Prix. We will have that up. That is planned to come out the 22nd. If something drastically changes regarding the Korakuen, maybe we'll release it on the 24th or 25th. But we'll wait and see there. That one's really tight because obviously it comes out the 27th. But those are 2 videos to look forward to right here on the YouTube channel. They'll also be on the MP3 version of the 5 Star Joshi Show. So keep an eye out for that. The beginner's guide to Marigold is still being planned. It is still going to come out in one of the next 2 weeks before the tournament. I just got to put it together now that we have through this Korakuen, but I'm very excited, and you should be too. Super duper excited. Cannot wait for this tournament, and what these 2 leagues do is just get me even more hyped. Now we get into the big 4 matches on the show, starting with Victoria Yuzuki and Sareee Yamaoka taking on Senka Akatsuki and Sora Ayame of Marvelous. If anyone will like my hot take, I don't know how hot of a take this is, but maybe it's a hot take. This was my match of the show. I loved this match. Sareee Yamaoka and Senka Akatsuki, they just get it. We are watching 2 generational rookies. 2 generational rookies create a generational rivalry in their first year in the ring. They're so different, right? Senka's old school style, grounded, right? Shoot pins, all those different things. Sareee Yamaoka has the amateur background, the legitimacy, but she has this explosiveness that she's mixed with. Nanae Takahashi's passion style just to become her own. super thing. These two were great in this match, as they always are. But you know who's also great in this match? Victoria Yuzuki and Sora Ayame. Sora Ayame is obviously a few steps below these three, but she had, I think, the best showing I've ever seen from her. Her and Victoria Yuzuki crushed it in the closing stretch. Absolutely crushed it. Victoria Yuzuki was the veteran of this match, and she felt like the veteran of this match. She was not here to be anything but a beast. She was not here to be anything but I am going to lead the way. I am going to destroy. I am going to get the job done. I really thought she was fantastic. I do. Yuzuki has so much confidence going into the Dream Star, something that I'm super happy about. Like I said earlier, she has a real chance to be MVP, and performances like this are going to bring you there. I love to pick an MVP and I love to pick a winner because I do think those are two different things. MVP is who has the great performance, the best standout matches, and so on. I think Victoria Yuzuki can be that. I think Sareee Yamaoka can be that. Hell, I think Saiga Koski can be that as well. To give you a little preview into that preview and prediction show. But yeah, this match was awesome, man. Go out of your way to see it if you haven't. It's just seeing the youths and seeing them full force. They are crushing it. They are crushing it. There's so much potential here. And then it finally happened. For the first time ever, Mayu Utami and Mio Momono shared the ring. And my God, did it feel special. Mio Momono just she felt right in there with Mayu. It was just so good. It was just so good. It was just a tease, but it was enough, you know? There's magic there. There's instant chemistry there. These two were seamless in the opening minutes. Seamless. There wasn't even like a hint of, oh, maybe they won't have the no, they have the chemistry. No, they have it. These two were incredible in the minutes they shared. And then shouts out to Kamomo Minami, shouts out to Ihozan. They added so much to this match. Kamomo Minami has been making stride after stride after stride. That's really becoming noticed for all the right reasons. She's a super talented wrestler. Ihozan deserves a lot of respect as well. I think she is one of the more underrated wrestlers on the scene. Obviously, Marvelous has their crew, and people don't always talk about Ihozan, but she had one hell of a showing. But it's hard for me to look past anything besides Mayu and Mio. This is a match I have had circled, I have dreamt of for years now, and we are on our way. Mio Mono defeated Kamomo Minami to get the win, and from there, she made it clear she wants Mayu Utami one-on-one. And Mayu said, okay, sure, I've had my eye on you for a very long time. Like, this is just, I can't believe this happened. I really can't. We got to a point with Mio Momono where I just never thought I'd get her in the ring with Mayu. Like, every time a feud or every time a story would happen, right, where Takumi starts in Stardom and now Marigold, it's like, why does Mio have to be her? And now it's happening, and they're going right to the match that I want the most. This face-off was special. This face-off was everything. But before we get there, Arina Yamanaka also wants to go one-on-one with Mayu Iwatani. So the plan is this. Mayu Iwatani will defend the Superfly Championship against Arina Yamanaka. And then she will await, or Mio Momono will await Mayu Iwatani from there. I think they're two fascinating matches for Mayu and her title. Obviously, the Mio Momono one's the big one, the one that I'm most excited about. Like, legitimate match of the year potential. Plain and simple. That is what that match is, nothing less. It is going to be incredible. It's going to be sensational whenever it happens. But Arina Yamanaka has shown flashes, and I think with Mayu Iwatani, you could see her have the best match of her life. So I'm fascinated to see what that looks like. I like seeing the Superfly belt get built up like this. Superb post-match here. Super exciting. Gets Mayu all set up while also the Dream Star being right around the corner. So that's awesome. As you can tell, I'm absolutely hyped. I'm absolutely thrilled. This is what it's all about. You then had the United National Championship match. It was Mai Sakurai defending against Riko Kawahara. This match was fine. It's kind of my big takeaway here. It wasn't memorable. It wasn't bad. It was just kind of fine. You know, a lot of what I was thinking throughout this match was, man, I think Maria would be better fit for a Mai Sakurai title defense than Rico, which is pretty crazy to think about, but it just felt that way, especially in the new heel gimmick. I think Maria really handles it a bit better. This wasn't like I said, this wasn't a bad match. It was fine. It's just nothing super duper memorable. Mai Sakurai beat her kind of easily. It felt like she got the STF in a few times, and once she finally got in that last time, she won. So Mai Sakurai gets her win back in a fine United National title defense. We're getting into a point now with Mai Sakurai of what's next, who's next, and I think we're going to probably learn that through the Dream Star. Right, there's an opportunity there for her to take some losses. There's a lot of contenders in that match, as I talked about. Right, you look at that. Obviously, Miku and Mirai, they may or may not be above it, but you have Chikagoto who could get a win back, maybe re-challenge. Kazuna Tanaka would be really cool. Misa Matsui getting back in there, Nozaki getting back in there, and Chen Yoto. A lot of these matches are title matches Mai Sakurai's already had, but getting back there is interesting, though. You kind of want to circle Mirai, right? That's kind of one that's like, maybe we do get back to that. But the United National title match was a fine one. It was, I thought, probably the worst of the big four, but certainly not bad by any stretch. Just not as memorable as I hoped for heading in. And then you had it, the double championship match, the Marigold World Championship and the GHC Women's Championship double title match, 60-minute time limit. And they did the damn thing. This match is a fascinating conversation, I think. Some people hated it. A lot of people loved it. Japanese fans especially. I spent a lot of Wednesday just looking through their comments. This match hit a lot of people home at home. It'll hit a lot of English fans too. It's a match that, listen, when you go over that 30-minute time limit and you reach or sniff the 60-minute time limit, it is going to have a lot of opinions. It's going to have a lot of thoughts. I'm somewhere in the middle. So I watched this match very early in the morning because I watched it live and I said, okay, I don't know. This is a lot of time. And, watching 56 minutes while I'm half asleep is not always the best plan. So I rewatched it. Late last night, rested, and I walk away with appreciation for what they did. Wrestling 56 minutes is no easy feat. Figuring out how to get there is no easy feat. This is the longest match in Joshi since I think 2018 or something, or longest singles title match or whatever. 56 minutes and 15 seconds, double knockout. They didn't even go to the draw. And I think that was a fantastic curveball to throw, quite frankly. This match has its ups and downs. It does. There's the first 20 minutes or so are a lot of the slow building up, headlocks, some submissions. But I thought Utami Hayashishita legitimately had an incredible performance in this match. I thought she was fantastic. She sold like hell from start to finish. She took a lot of the beating, and then her offense was very memorable. Very memorable. And she kept selling that back throughout the match. And it turned into a great selling performance from Takumi eventually when Utami turned the tables and started to attack her knee. I thought that was really when the match picked up from what are we doing to, okay, this is good. This is good. I walked away saying this match is good. Listen, I'm not a big hour-long match guy, but I have a great appreciation for those who can do it. And especially watching the way the crowd reacted when this was over and giving him a standing ovation, seeing tears come from Mayu Iwatani's face when this was over, gives you an appreciation. Seeing the fans react to, wow, what a match. What an incredible performance from these two. You have a great appreciation for what these two accomplished. You can't ask just anyone to go out there and have a 56-minute, 15-second match. I'm not going to sit here and call it the match of the year. It's just not to me. My favorite match on the show was the rookie tag. But I also am not going to sit here and bash what they accomplished because I don't think that's warranted either. I think these two put together an awesome performance individually because again you have to get this far, you have to get to this performance. And ultimately at the end of the day, when it comes to Tommy Hayashishita, when it comes to Takumi Iroha, I don't think they're the best matchup for each other. I think they both have better matchups in their catalog, but it is a rivalry that they seemingly both love. They challenge themselves within the match itself, they challenge themselves, and you saw it once you got going. Really around the 20-minute mark is when this match really starts to get going, really gets to another level that I really got locked into. The closing stretch of them pretty much hitting all these final bombs before enough is enough, they can't reach the 10 count. I thought that was a great curveball at the end. I really do, because once you get to the 45-minute mark, I think people start to say, oh, this is going to a draw. So to throw that curveball at the end was a fascinating one, but an exciting one. I'm fascinated to see what this receives in terms of praise over the next couple months, especially when it comes to like Tokyo sports and things like that, because I do think it's going to get a lot of respect in those award type things. Like I said, this match, you're either going to love it, you're going to hate it. I don't really care what you decide on. I ended up being one that liked it. I do like it. I don't love it. Um, it's not my match of the year, but it's one that I have a great appreciation for after going back and watching and seeing the grueling match that these two went through. So ultimately, neither title changes hands. Takumi will still be GHC Women's Champion. And then Utami will still be Marigold World Champion. Now that sets up for the Dreamstar Grand Prix. That sets us up for what's next here. And what's next here is, of course, the Dreamstar. Someone will be looking at Utami on the other side of it. But hell of a performance from both of them, whether you loved it or hey, you got to respect it. And I think this Korakuen ended up being a major success. Over 1,000 attendance, a lot of people talking about this match. I'm fascinated to see now what's the next level from it. Where do we go next in terms of Marigold and Marvelous? So obviously Mayu and Mio are lined up, but they thought this was going to be the peak, the end. Whoever won kind of decided the feud. Now that no one won, it's very clear that both sides are very focused on continuing this feud, keeping things heated, and that's really the conversation point from here. And I am super excited about that because this has been my rivalry of the year. Now we look ahead to what looks to be an incredible weekend for Marigold. They have 3 shows over this weekend, including the return of super rookie Shino. She'll be on all 3 shows, so that's always super exciting. But like I said, they have 3 house shows, and a lot of them have some really exciting matches. So we'll start at the first one on Saturday. Saturday the 19th in Okayama, it will be Naoshikawa versus Hummingbird in opening action. Kokimari goes into a 3-way match against Megaton and Misa Matsui. For the first time, Utami teams up with Yuka Yamazaki, the Mad Dog, to take on Chikagoto and Yuki Minami. In the semi-main event, it will be Sareee Yamaoka, Shino, and Mai Sakurai taking on Mirai, Victoria Yuzuki, and Kamo Minami. I am hyped for that match. I think Shino's first time facing Yuzuki, so that's pretty cool. That's a obvious big time matchup, future world title match right there, as far as I'm concerned. But this should be a really, really good one. So looking forward to that. And then in the main event, Mayu Utami teams with Miku Anou and Kazuna Tanaka to take on Darkness Revolution, Nagisa Nozaki, Chiaki, and Rhea Seto. This should be a lot of fun as well. Love seeing Mayu and Miku team up, especially with the Dreamstar right around the corner. Then the next day, they head to Osaka for another show, which has 3 matches, I think, that jump off the page here. Starting with the undercard, however, it will be Naoshikawa versus Megaton versus Chiaki in 3-way action. Flying Penguin teams up with Koki Amara to take on Kamo Minami and Hummingbird. In trios action, in trios action will be Kazuna Tanaka, Mai Sakurai, and Arina Yamanaka taking on Misa Matsui, Nagisa Nozaki, and Rhea Seto of Darkness Revolution. In tag team action, it'll be Tommy Hayashishita and Victoria Yuzuki facing off with Mirai and Yuki Yamazaki. So a cool mentor student type feel. I know, Izuki's more of the student of course, Mayu, but obviously before Mayu came back to or came over to Marigold, Utami kind of served that purpose for Yuzuki. So that'll be a fun matchup. And I love getting to see Mirai and Yuka together because that really does feel like her student in many ways. And then in your main event, Icon Academy grows, folks. We're welcoming them in. We're welcoming them in. Mayu Utami teams of Sareee, Amioka, and Shino in the main event to take on Miku, Anou, Chikagoto, and Yuki Minami. I'm hyped for this one as well. Excited to see Mayu team with those three. But I think the show on Monday has the most exciting match of them all from this upcoming weekend for Marigold. And it is going to be in the main event, but we'll start in the undercard here. First up, you got Naoshikawa versus Kimono Minami in singles action. Celine Flora teams up. Victoria Yuzuki and Kazuna Tanaka take on Hummingbird and Megaton. In one-on-one action, it'll be Mai Sakurai versus Rhea Seto. So that's an interesting match. Three-way action will be Koki Amari versus Chikagoto versus Chiaki. In the semi-main event, as you can see here on your screen, if you're watching over on YouTube, it'll be Yuki Minami and Miku Anou facing off with Misa Matsui and Nagisa Nozaki. And then in your main event, it is the top three versus the young three. It'll be Utami Hayashishita, Mayu Utani, and Mirai taking on Sareee Yamaoka, Shino, and Yuka Yamazaki. I remember this match being announced, and I said, "Oh my god!" Getting to see those three, the three rookies of Marigold this year take on the top three. Right? You got Utami, Mirai, and Mayu in there. I mean, that's what it's all about. That is a match. I can't wait to see this one. Obviously, it'll be on 2 days delay, so probably won't see it till Wednesday, but I am hyped. I'm absolutely hyped for this match. A lot of good trios and tag team action throughout the weekend from Marigold to look forward to. But that is it. That is it here on the 5 Star Joshi Show. A lot of fun. Tons of reviews coming next week. Obviously, Sapporo Rendezvous, the Korakuen for Stardom, TJPW Summer Sun Princess, the Korakuen for Sendai Girls. Then, of course, some house show action from Marigold. We'll also be getting that preview up for the 5 Star Grand Prix next week, so keep an eye out for that. That will be up before our next episode comes out. I'm really excited to do that. Really excited to give my predictions. A total look up and down of the tournament itself. Should be a lot of fun. Also, look out for the beginner's guide. Should be coming out within the next week or so as well. So tons of content over these next couple weeks. And then 2 weeks from now, the Dreamstar Grand Prix preview and predictions will also be out. So if you're looking for more content, if you're looking for full coverage of those tournaments, go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@ScottieWrestling. Each and every show, we will have a review of that Dreamstar show, of that 5-star show, each match, each review, all the analysis, ratings, everything. So keep an eye out for that. Really looking forward to it. But thank you, everyone, for listening. As always, it means the world to me that you guys keep coming back and listening to me talk about Joshi wrestling. Thank you, everyone. It means the world. Like I said earlier, make sure you go check out my interview with Victoria Yuzuki over on Fightful.com if you haven't already. And other than that, thank you so much for listening. And until next time, so long. See you later. Bye-bye.